Hello, friends, and welcome back to our little coffee club. All right, so I'm really happy to be here with you guys today. I don't know what's going on, but man, I'm excited for this brew session. I, thought about it this morning, like what am I gonna record? Of course, I want to make my coffee, but for some reason, I'm just excited to get started here. All right, so let's first talk about. You see, we're back on the Anki. The Anki. I tried using another phone for streaming. And the only reason for that was because there are some playlists saved on my Epidemic Sound that I can use with the phone that unless I'm using the same app on the Anki, I can't do it. And that's not how I use this. I use the application that came with the Anki that it was built for this. And it's what I always use. I create the playlist on there and it's a little bit different. It just works a little bit different. None of that matters, but we're back on the Anki. And I wanted to tell you guys, before we get going, the story. Let me see if I can focus. But you see there at the top, you should be able to see there at the top, it says ES. That's for Epidemic Sounds, which is the application that I pay for in order to be able to put music on my videos. And it's a license that you pay, and it allows you to use the music. And let me tell you the story. So, we got blocked. And the first time that the music gets blocked was because I had it playing in the background and the music was not embedded. At least that's what I thought. And I don't know how much that has to do with it, but that's what happened. I've been playing the music in the background instead of embedding the music. The workflow is just so much easier, man. Moving forward, I'm going to do some of that and some where I embed the music and kind of mix it up back and forth. It just makes it so much easier. And so our boy, the first song that gets flagged was a song from Richie Everett, where you see there at the top. The very first song that you see there is called Emily, and it's my favorite. From all these jazz type of songs that I play from this application, I gotta say, Emily, this song from Richie Everett is my favorite. And this artist, Richie Everett, is my favorite. This is not his only really good song. He has several really good songs. And it gets blocked, right? It gets blocked. YouTube sends me a message saying that there was a copyright claim, that I can remove the song, I can edit it out, there's several options, right? One of the options is to, you can fight it. I don't remember the wording, it's not that, but something like that. You could fight this if you want and put that you have the rights to use this. The first couple of times that happened to me, I ignored it. I just, I put a song over another song and embedded it, and then the problem went away. I removed the video, re-uploaded the video, the problem went away. That happened a couple of times. And then one day, let me make sure. Boy, it would be a shame if I don't have the mic on, but yeah, it is on. I was just checking. Okay, so audio should be fine here. Okay, so that happened a couple of times where it got blocked. And I just put a song over a song and just moved on with life. I'm not gonna I didn't know how to go around fighting it or what happens or what. So, but now another time, this I think was my third time, it gets flagged again. And this had never happened. I've been making videos for years. It never happens. It just was recently. So I thought maybe it's just because all the time I was getting flagged from Richie Everett. So I removed him from the playlist. I removed Richie from the playlist until one day I got flagged again and the music was actually embedded and it was not Richie. So I thought, okay, this is too much. I got to figure this out or I'm going to cancel Epidemic Sound. So, I said, well, let me try doing this fighting it thing. And I thought this is going to be a lengthy process, but it is YouTube. And I already mentioned before, YouTube is, man, so far in my experience, they're just very good about helping their creators and having automatic tools and things that happen in the background that actually help you a whole bunch to keep things easy. So when you open this claim that you want to fight it, it's very easy. There's only a couple of questions, a small note. I mentioned Epidemic Sound in my, my username in Epidemic Sound. I said I've been a user for years and this thing keeps happening. And then it said that once you submit that, they send me another email saying that, that the people flagging the video, they have 30 days to either come back and say, hey, you can't use this music, or to release the hold or whatever they call it. Or if they ignore it, after 30 days, it goes away and then you could use it. You could do whatever you want. So that's kind of the email you get back from YouTube. And I thought, well, this is probably going to last 30 days. And in 30 days, it's probably just going to go away. Nobody monitors this thing. This is just probably, they're not going to say anything. So that was my thinking. But wow, I got to say, that same day, in less than like 3 or 4 hours, I already had a response from YouTube saying that Epidemic Sound had released the hold and I'm good to go. And just that easy. And I was like, wow, this is really good customer service. Like, this is really cool. So why is it sometimes I keep getting flagged from Epidemic Sound? I don't know. Maybe it has not happened since then, but I haven't uploaded a bunch of videos since then. So I don't know if it's gonna be something that every now and then I'm gonna have to open up a case again and, put, hey guys, and they'll release it every time. I don't know. Hopefully it stops happening. But anyway, I figured it wasn't Richie as I thought. Although, I think Richie Everett is one of probably the most maybe known artists from, you guys let me know that if he is or if he isn't, if you've heard of this guy. But I do have to say his music is really good. And we're going to start with Emily today. Let me go plug it in. So this has been, how long have I been recording? Oh my God, 7 minutes. People are triggered. People have left the video. This has nothing to do with coffee. I'm sorry, but I said I would tell you the story as to, what happened with this whole thing of getting blocked and how, I got reinstated my boy Richie back on here. All right, let's see. We're going to play the little music in the background once again. And let me see. We're going to start with Emily. Okay, I figure I play a few seconds of that for you guys. You guys have heard that song many times here on the channel. It's always, ever since I discovered it, it's been one of my favorites. Then I looked up the artist. I saw he had a bunch of great music. I downloaded all of his titles so I could include them in my playlist and in my videos. And yeah, Richie Everett has been a thing ever since then here on my channel. I'm glad that this thing has been resolved. Hopefully I don't have to always be opening up another one of these, fight this thing and send another email. Hopefully that's not gonna keep happening, but if it does, now I know how to do it. It's not that complicated. YouTube and Epidemic Sound are very good about resolving the situation. And yeah, I had a great experience with that. Who knows? Come on, Epidemic Sound, sponsor my, I need a sponsor. I need some help. I need help in more than one way. So, I see that I want to start with filtered coffee and I don't even have water in my kettle. Man, okay. Hey, you know what? I might as well let you just listen to Richie. Okay, the kettle is getting warmed up. Clip the foam back on my shirt here. Okay, so I want to make espresso today. Last time, I believe it was this coffee, the Rwanda, one of the coffees that Kent sent from Norway. It pulled one of the best shots of espresso of the whole entire year. Okay, good enough to rival the one from Hinterhoff and some of the other great shots that I've pulled this year. I gotta say, this coffee from Rwanda was absolutely tasty, beautiful. I don't know what else to say about it. It was awesome. So today I'm gonna try to replicate the shot on the Flair 58. That's my intention. We'll see if it happens. I have it at grind size 13. I don't remember what I used. Okay, let's pause for a second to clarify something here. I was a little bit confused while I was recording this. I thought that I had pulled this shot of espresso previously on the Bianca, but this was also a Flair 58 video, and I believe it was also a Friday video. So I got the video confused, but definitely it was a fabulous shot of espresso previously, and on that video I pulled two shots. One of them ended up amazing, the very first one. The second one, if you watch that video, the second one was not as good as the first one. And in some ways, well, I don't want to give anything away. Let's just move forward here. But just keep in mind, it was not on the Bianca. And I think I say that more than once here. It was also a Flair 58 shot, two previous shots on the Flair 58. And it was also a Friday video. So I just got my videos confused. For the Bianca, although I just recorded this maybe, but it's already probably been like more than a week. So I don't remember. And I'm always playing with different coffees. So that's why I tell you guys, like, if you tell me right now, what are the tasting notes on this? I don't remember anymore. I just know Rwanda is really big. And that's what I said when I reviewed it. As a matter of fact, the review of this, if I did it on a Sunday, perhaps you haven't even seen the review of this. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're going to push forward. I want to make espresso with this and see if I can replicate another wonderful shot from this. But before we get into that, I want to do this coffee. It's our first, let me see, it's in frame, yes. It's the first sample from the ones that Kent sent. As of now, all I've reviewed is the full bags. I did all of those, and now I have some of those coffees frozen, so I can revisit them in the future. But these coffees, I believe the samples have already been frozen. I don't want to refreeze them. So now once I open this, I will review it with you guys, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. It's not a lot of coffee here anyway, so it's a few brews. I'm going to enjoy all of it and then move on to the next thing. As you could see, there's very little information here as to this coffee. This should be coffee number 6 that I'm reviewing from Kent. I am counting them as I go so that later on I can look up the video, and by the time this video posts, I recorded this weeks ago, and when you guys see the video and start putting comments on the video and Kent wants to talk about this particular coffee, I need to know the number in which I recorded it, and all of that helps. So whatever, it's for me, how do you call it, to keep everything organized. So it says Coffee Collective. I think the Coffee Collective is aren't they? I believe they're coffee roasters and coffee shops. It's what I want to say, but I could be wrong. But I've heard of this Coffee Collective before. I know that for a fact. It says Denmark and Uluri. I don't know. Kent's going to have to help us. But besides that, there is no more information here. I don't know anything else. So we'll do our usual. We're going to do filter coffee with this. And we're gonna do espresso later with the Rwanda on the Flair 58. Another thing going on in today's video is that I want to revisit the Sibarist. Okay, I did. This is the second time. I bought the Sibarist paper a long time ago. Let me show you. Okay, here's the Sibarist paper. If you guys know about Sibarist, they're highly regarded in the coffee industry. It's the top of the line kind of paper. If filter paper matters a lot to you, this is probably the most sought after filter paper there is. Okay, it's very fast, and you can grind finer than you would normally with another, or you can just use a slower brewer. And whatever. It gives you flexibility, okay? But they're very expensive. But I always wanted to try it, so I bought this, man. Already, wow, it's been 2-3 years probably that I bought this. And I still I hadn't opened it. Recently I opened it. I didn't even know how to fold the thing into the brewer. I don't have a negotiator, because what I've seen people do with this most of the time is use a flat bottom brewer like the April or like the Oria, and they use a negotiator and they work it in there, and that's how they do it. It's real easy if you have that. I don't have one. So so I figured a way of folding it and making a cone filter out of it. So we're gonna try a Sibarist paper. Let me show you. Okay, I already have it kind of folded in here. I don't know if I'm gonna go through the process again and show you guys what I did, but maybe I will. I hope I get it as nice again, but you know, you should be able to see there. So where it's folded over, and it worked out, you know, really well. I like the way this looks. I wonder if it's gonna be a lot faster. As you could see here, it ends up having like 3 plies. So will this be faster? I imagine most of I don't know, is it gonna extract even? You know, it's a lot of questions here. If you guys have used Sibarist before, maybe you can help me out and leave me a comment as to like how to do this better. But this is a way of doing it. As a matter of fact, I think I did a fairly nice job. It looks nice. I think it's gonna work well. We'll see. And the Sibarist is gonna go against my daily driver, which is the Hario V60. Okay, just a regular Hario V60 paper. Let me get one out. So here you go. One of these versus Sibarist. I don't know. Will we see a difference? I doubt there's gonna be any difference in flavor, but in timing, if there's a big difference in timing, there could be a difference in flavor. So we'll see. We'll see. Being that I don't know this coffee, I've never brewed it, I'm gonna do where I usually start, which is grind size 55 on the niche duo. Water temperature, I usually like to start at 97. I imagine this is gonna be a light roast, and you know, just being just off boiling is usually what works best for me, for what I like. So the Flair's not even on, by the way. I know I have the handle down, but it's not even on, so it's still cold. I'll turn it on once, maybe after I brew this coffee, I'll turn it on, because it's only a few minutes, and then it's gonna be ready to go. I told you guys that Anton told me that heating it up so much is not even necessary, that he pulls shots, turns it on, and when it beeps, he starts pulling shots, and he doesn't put it on the 3rd temperature. I am gonna put it on the 3rd one, but we'll see. Today I'll heat it up less and see how that turns out. What else I have to do? Okay, I think that's it. I think let's dose out and grind the coffee, and then I'll set up. I have another thing I did today. I kind of prepared the tripod in an angle that I think is gonna work a little bit better from the top, and I can do it with just one angle, and you'll still be able to see pretty well. I like the way it looked. We'll see if it works. All right, so let's dose out, and I'm gonna do 12 grams in each. So let's get this open. You can hear the vacuum. When I first cut the bag, you can hear the air getting in. So you know the vacuum was, and you could feel it, you could see it, you know, it's very well vacuum sealed. If you want to keep your coffee long-term, the best way of doing it is like this. You vacuum seal the coffee in bags like this, and then you freeze it. And I've had coffee frozen now for 3 years. I'm gonna revisit one of those coffees soon, but it was like my favorite coffee, like 2 years running straight, until I started discovering a lot of these more upscale roasters, and I started seeing some different fermented coffees and different experimental coffees that I discovered by now. So many wonderful different coffees that it's just hard to pick just one. But I want to revisit my good old-time favorite, Good Brothers Costa Rican with the thermical, what was it called? Thermical fermentation. So it's like I imagine it being like a thermal shock coffee. And wow, it's just, that coffee is awesome. I loved it, absolutely loved it. I still have some frozen, we'll revisit that. All right, let's get to dosing. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, let me lower the music a little bit. Obviously, all the songs are not at the same volume. Okay, so 12 grams. Let me see, did I get the, the fragrance of the coffee, so the dry smell, it's just very clean. There is quite a bit of it. It's like, I mean, it hit me. That's why that's why I paused to smell it. There's still quite a lot of fragrance in the coffee. So I'm gonna definitely enjoy this cup of coffee as I do this paper comparison. Okay, so I have exactly 12 grams here. And we'll do another 12 grams here. Yeah, and I'll still have enough there to brew it a few more times. Okay, and I'm gonna put this into my fellow Atmos canister when we're done brewing. I do have one available, so I'll put it in there. Okay, so we are right at 12 grams. Let's see if I can remove the... I wish I knew how to remove the locking thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, I removed the lock. So we're at 12 grams. I'm gonna come over here. We are at 50, grind size 55. You can see it there. That's where I like to start with a new coffee. Let's put this in here, like so. Okay. The little bellow stops the popcorning from happening. It works super awesome. I love it. You can do a little bellows. Then tap the spout a couple times. Let's see if we got our 12 grams. Actually, we got a little bit extra, so 12.1. All right. Put that one off to the side. Let's go. Oh, the next one, I'm gonna tear it, put it at 0. So when we put it back on here, it should read 0, nothing plus, nothing minus. Okay, the niche dual workflow, I mean, it's almost identical to the 0, but you guys know my little things that are annoying about it. For example, the popcorning, but the bellows has taken care of that, you know. Okay, so exactly the same grind size. Okay, let's see if we have our 12 grams. Yeah, exactly. So we're back at 0, so that means we have the same 12 grams we put in. Let me relock the focus. And continue. Now, there's quite a bit of shaft on this coffee. I saw it flying around a little bit when I did the bellows. Let me clean up a little bit. That's just me. You guys know how I like to keep it tidy. I can't help it. I really can't. I can't move forward unless things are tidy. So usually I cut all of this out from the video, and today I might or might not. It depends how much editing I want to do and how long it takes me to clean this up a little bit. All right, come on. All right. Yeah, I can't help it. I just can't help it, but all right. That's nice. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna have to cut here because I'm gonna have to set up the overhead angle so we can start brewing. Okay, so this is the angle. I think this will work a lot better today. I found something that I could lift the Akai a little bit higher so that both brewers are on the same plane and focusing works better. If you know about depth of field and all of that, then you understand what it is I'm saying. But I talked a little bit as to how I folded the Sibarist paper. If somebody wants me to revisit that and to actually go through the, folding it and all that, we could do that. I'm not gonna get into that today because I wanna get to doing espresso and plus the filtered coffee. So we're already a little bit complicated today to get into all of that. Plus I chose to tell you finally the story as to, getting my music blocked. So we talked about that a little bit. So yeah, this video is already probably like 25 minutes long and we're not even brewing. People are triggered. Anyway, what are you gonna do? I want to please everyone, but it's hard to please everyone, right? It's pretty much impossible. Okay, so this water is just off boiling. And what I like doing is, is rinsing the paper like a must? No, but it's part of my workflow. I don't mind doing it. I do like rinsing the cups. And by the way, I'm not gonna taste from these cups. I'm gonna taste from the shot glasses again, as I've been doing and the shot glasses are cold. So yeah, we could get to tasting right away. And anything else I need to tell you guys to bring you up to speed? I don't think so. I think we're good. Let me empty the water. Yeah, I do enjoy rinsing everything and getting everything hot like this. Again, enjoyment of your process is, wow, it's probably the main thing. Because having tasty coffee at the expense of a bunch of, inconvenience is just not worth it, at least not to me. Okay, so Sibarist versus Hario V60. Okay, both little cups have the same exact thing in them. Grind size 55 on the dual. Exactly 12 grams in each. So same brewer, same burst, same everything. Only difference here is gonna be the paper. Okay, as far as timing, obviously I have no idea. Brewing 12 grams, sometimes at 2 minutes, 45 seconds, something like that, it's already, to me, really tasty. At 3.5 minutes, it's also really tasty. So I like to start, somewhere around 3 minutes and then go up and down from there and see what happens, if it gets better or if it's about the same or if it gets worse. So for this type of scenario, 12 grams in, 180 grams out, at 1 to 15, that's where I always start. Brew time 3 minutes, let's say, I would be really happy with that. But let's see what happens here. I have no idea. Okay, so this is my Sibarist. Let's start with Hario V60. So start the Akaya. Okay, good. I don't have the espresso function on, so I can just go ahead and start the time. I like going to 30 and then 30 center. I'm taking it to 60 for my first pour. Usually the first pour is only gonna take about 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and then I pour again. So today's gonna be even less than 20. Here we go again. So now we go to 90 and then 120. Okay, I went a little over. Well, I forgot. I'm gonna have to scoot it over a little bit. I have no choice. And I don't know if I logged focus. Okay, start the time. This is still dripping. I just checked it. Okay, 60. It's still dripping. My God, it already went through. 90 and then finish 120. Yeah, that's crazy fast. Okay. I don't know if that's convenient. Okay, 150 and then finish 180. 80. This is ready to go again. I mean, this is insane. 50. Let me wash this side here a little bit. 180. I mean, this is obviously way, this thing just goes right through. I'm gonna like try to swirl it or something to, it's not gonna, it doesn't even slow down. It's just right through. Okay, it doesn't matter the way I folded it. It doesn't matter what. There's no doubt about it that this is incredibly fast. It's a minute, it's done, it's been done. I think I should have stopped it in less than a minute. And this is 2 minutes, so double the amount of time. Both of them went way too fast. Oh man, I hope the coffee still tastes good. Wow, I didn't expect. I mean, this is 2 minutes and still dripping a little bit, but I'm gonna have to call it. So 2:15 in 1 minute at most. This was 1 minute at most. This was double the amount of time, at least. So the rest here, I'm gonna talk in front of the camera. Let me set it up. But this is obvious. Sibarist, okay, it's not hype. It's not like, if you wanna go fast, there is no other way around it. Nothing will beat this. I can't imagine. I don't know. I'm shocked. I had never used it. Okay, very first time. I guess the way I folded it was good as any. What does it matter? I mean, wow, you gotta grind like way. Now I wanna do a second brew. I wanna go do a second brew and see how fine I have to grind in order to get some kind of reasonable time. And see the flavor. I've never had a 1 minute brew time. I've never had that. I don't, maybe it's nice still, like 1 minute versus 2:15. This is crazy. It blew my mind. I never expected that. Okay, all right, let me set up. We'll keep talking in a second. All right, I have to say that's one of the most insane results I've seen in one of these kind of experiments that I've ran on the channel. Wow, that was most unexpected. I couldn't believe it. You would pour and it's just like the water's just getting out, like if there's no resistance whatsoever. Wow, like crazy. All right, so let's start. Let's start with the more sensible, which was still fast. This was from the V60 paper, the Hario paper. As far as the aroma of the coffee, the wet smell, nice, you know, at first hint a little maybe citrusness, little citrusy, but maybe the flavor is nothing like that. Let's see. Wow. Okay, man, this is delicious. Okay, from a 2 minute coffee, like I didn't expect this. I would say citrus. It's a citrus coffee, but with a longer brew time, maybe things would change a little bit. Recently, I did a comparison between the Pietro and the Niche Duo, comparing the burrs, comparing the flavor of the actual grinder. And this is giving me that kind of vibe, the vibe that I got from the Pietro, where the acidity and the presentation of acidity is just wonderful, just really beautiful. A little bit less depth of flavor and a little bit less in the finish. Where the Duo was giving me a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more depth of flavor, and a little bit better finish. But the Pietro was lovely up front, and this is what I'm getting. Very lovely up front, but a little lack of depth of flavor, a little lack in the finish. Man, but wow, the flavor profile of this is just outrageous. This is delicious. Man, I wish there was a little more depth of flavor, something more lingering, more in the finish. This is all up front, but just, wow, the up front, like what you get up front on this coffee, I don't think I've ever had anything better. This is like, man. That is delicious. Okay, let's try the 1 minute from the Sibarist. This is crazy. I don't think I've ever had 1 minute like coffee. Yeah, espresso. I would say there is a difference. Yeah, they're definitely different. This is what this is what I'm saying about comparing bursts. You do two coffees just like I just did, and you see a difference. Does that mean that it was really from the burst? You're gonna have to do like several brews, like 5 or 6 with each, so that you could always identify that, because perhaps the hand of beans that I dosed into each cup were different, a little bit different. Obviously, the way that it brewed was different, and I think that's what I'm tasting, because uh, one coffee brewed for twice as long as the other, 1 minute versus 2 minutes. I think there is enough here that it created a difference that I can pretty easily see. Okay, let me go back. You know what? Let's do them. Okay, let me not get this confused. Okay. How should I do this? Like this, because then, okay, yeah, like this. All right. This is the Sibarist. Yeah, there's a difference. The 2 minute one is better. It has a little bit more depth, a little bit more to it. So Sibarist paper loses, but no, I shouldn't say that. This is remarkable what this could do. I can probably grind this 3 times as fine to get this kind of like 2 minutes. And maybe the flavor would be outrageous. I gotta revisit this. There's definitely a difference, and this one's better. The 2 minute one, the 2 minute one is better than the 1 minute one, in just probably in every way. This is still like really, really good coffee. By no means am I saying, but this one's better, and clearly so, and there's more to it. There's just, now that it's been cooling a little bit, wow, that one sip, and this was from the 1 minute from the Sibarist, I'm getting a little bit more like maybe cherries. A little bit fruitier, plus it's been cooling down. Okay, so the acidity went down. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, but from the 2 minute, I'm still getting more like acidity, more a little bit like citrus notes. Where on this one, it's a little more delicate, a little bit fruitier. A little more floral qualities. There's some aspects of this one that is really good too. Wow, but there's just more to this one. Okay, overall, if I had to guess, I would say I am getting some citrus notes from this coffee. Very sweet, lovely. Man, delicate, just very delicate flavors, very tea-like. But wow, I can't wait to try it and brew it more of like something that I normally do, like a 3 minute kind of. I'm not using the Sibarist. We got to revisit that. That was mind blowing. I wonder how fine I would have to go. Maybe that's what I'll do one day, but I only got like 25 papers. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll see if I can maybe revisit it and see like how much finer I need to go to get the same timing. Maybe 3 times as fine. Let's say I was at 50. I got to go down to like 15 to get like a reasonable timing from the. I'm exaggerating, of course, but who knows? I mean, it's just, wow, blew my mind. All right, that's what I have to say about this coffee, Kent. Maybe you can help us out by telling me if you know what the real tasting notes are. Lovely coffee, very delicate. Wow, the presentation of acidity is just can't get any better. Man, wow. Overall, I would say like some sweet citrus. The way I brewed it right now, sweet citrus, but very delicate. The sweetness is just fruity. Fruity sweetness. I wouldn't say anything about honey or chocolate or none of those kind of notes. It's just all like fruity and very sweet citrus up front. This one being a little bit more delicate. This one I would say that is more on the fruit, less on the citrus. Although I know that citrus are fruit, I know, but you guys know how I always, I always taste my coffee. And this one a lot more like tea-like qualities, like floral qualities, less on the citrus. That's what I have to say. But now overall, if I had to guess at the tasting notes, I would say it's a citrusy coffee and some fruit. Fruit. What kind of fruit? Sweet ones, like tropical fruit. Every time I get like a lot of sweetness, sweet fruit, I would say like tropical fruit on the finish. Up front, like some citrus flavors. And then but even at that, sweet citrus. Okay, so like orange, maybe navel oranges, some kind of sweet oranges. And then it goes just into more fruitiness, right? And I would not say anything about, who knows, maybe like a sugar note because it's really sweet. I wouldn't say honey. If anything, maybe like a sugar note. I would definitely not say anything about chocolate or anything like that. No, nothing like classic kind of expectations for coffee. No, there's none of that here. You're not gonna get any like, it's just very tea-like. Wow. Okay, that's what I have to say. Let me finish enjoying this for sure. Today is a nice rainy day outside. So I'm gonna go outside and finish this coffee, and then you guys will see me on the next clip, and we'll pull some espresso on the Flair 58. Maybe I'll put it to heat now. All right, I'll see you on the next clip. All right, here we go with the espresso portion of this video. I want this to be a Friday video. This will be an interesting one for sure. Very unexpected results with that Sibarist. As I enjoyed the last of the coffee, I want to add a tasting note to the whole thing. I want to say that on the one from the Sibarist, the one that brewed faster, I'm going to add peach to that. Yeah, that coffee definitely less citrus, more on the fruit. I'm going to add peach as a tasting note. I was getting something like that. And I'm going to stick to kind of citrusy on the way it brewed. Again, a lot of fruit as well. It had more of a finish than the other coffee. The other coffee was more upfront. The 2-minute one, the one from the Hario V60, that coffee had a little more depth of flavor, a little bit more to it, and I would still say a brighter pop of acidity up front, where I'm gonna say citrus flavor profile, and then it became more like tropical fruit, just more on the finish. So that's what I have to say. Anyway, what an experiment. I didn't expect that. One thing to say about this video is that I got into it a little bit slow, and I want to try to get into the actual coffee brewing within the first 5 minutes. I think it's what you guys is the sweet spot for everyone. And today I wanted to tell you the whole story about the music getting blocked and how I had to write the email and the way that they handled the process, which was surprisingly fast for me. I thought for sure this is going to take 30 days. And within like 3 or 4 hours, I had a response, and the block was gone and the video was ready to go. So yeah, very surprising the way that Epidemic Sound and YouTube handled that. I was really happy with that. Okay, so we're gonna revisit this coffee. Again, the grind size for this one, I wanna say I was at 14, but today I'm at 13. We'll see if we can manage another just spectacular shot of espresso. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to add water to the kettle. I'm gonna do that. Again, this video will be edited, so you know, some of this nonsense and some of this, how you call it, things that consume time with nothing happening, I will edit this and make it a little bit more reasonable for you guys. Okay, the water is warming up. You know, as of me recording this video, I still have not started recording for my other YouTube channel that I want to start. We haven't gone to Scotland as of me recording this, and I definitely want to record some of that experience and make some videos in regards to that. However, the very first video, I wanted to be, I have an idea as to something I want to do in South Beach. And yeah, I think my very first video, I wanted to be over there in South Beach, or some of it to be in South Beach. And it's been raining like every weekend. So a lot of rain recently. So it's been difficult to get out there. And what I want to do, with if all of a sudden it starts raining and I have my cameras and my stuff out, like I don't, it's not gonna go well. So I've been waiting to start recording for the other channel, but hopefully, if I don't know, I want to put a bunch of videos together before I even start posting them, so that I never feel rushed as to, and I want to keep the flow. Once I start posting, I do want to do at least one video a week, and the videos on that other channel, I want to keep them very short, maybe 15-20 minutes. I mean, for me, that's very short because my videos are like more than an hour or 1 hour long, and you guys know how I do it here. So yeah. All right, water's almost up to temperature. Okay, so now you can probably hear the kettle getting ready there in the background, but let's dose out our 18 grams. Again, we're gonna be on the niche 0, grind size 13, which I think is just a little bit finer than what we did for the Bianca that gave us that beautiful shot. Maybe 2 more beans. Yeah, well, we're between 18.1. We're gonna grind right there. Now, after I pull this shot of espresso, I might freeze the rest of this beautiful coffee. I might make a small pour over. Yeah, because as of now, but wow, the espresso was so great last time. I wanna have another espresso. Maybe I'll do 12 grams, taste it as filter, and report back. I will definitely report back as to the coffee I just brewed now when I get a longer extraction and see if it changes and see what happens with it. I'm so happy though that the first brew that I did with it ended up lovely. Very different. The 2 cups were very different. The 1 minute versus the 2 minutes. It was very different, but both very enjoyable. Okay, let's grind this. Let me show you the roast level. I didn't show you the roast level of the other coffee. Yeah, I didn't give you a clear look. Maybe I'll put some here on the counter, but it's gonna be very difficult with this lighting. But let me show you at least a little bit of, let me turn on the light. Let me turn on the light. I think it's worth you guys taking a look. Okay, right here you should be able to see that. Okay, yes, focused. But that was the roast level of the pour over I just made. Hopefully I got a nice little clip there for you guys. Let me show you the other coffee that's up on the niche 0. I showed you guys this coffee when I originally reviewed it, but here it is again. Okay, you see the grind size, 13. Give me a second and we'll grind it. Let's see if we have our 18 grams, 17.9. Okay, today I didn't restart it. Let's see if that makes any difference. I always restart it one more time. Tap it again, see if we got 18, I wonder. No, same thing. Okay, but we're gonna roll with that, 17.9. Let me refocus and then we'll get to our puck prep. Okay, right there. Recently I made a video as to, how important is puck prep. And it turned out to be another one of those shocking experiments. I had a feeling it's somewhat important, but it turned out to be, at least for my skill level, a lot more important than I was thinking. So yeah, maybe if you're very skilled and you do like some other kind of puck prep that's way faster and you just tap it and tamp and lock in. Maybe with enough practice you can get away with that, but wow, for me it was like really bad. Really, really bad. Okay, let's put this off to the side. Okay, so today the Flair should be really hot. I had forgotten to lock in the portafilter, so the portafilter is kind of cold, but we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna follow what Anton told me and see. I'm surprised it's already a little bit warm, but it's not hot. But we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, perfect. Let me bring you a little bit closer for WDT and tamp. Let's go with that. Man, I was really looking forward to hanging out with you guys today. You know, our little coffee club is growing like very slow, like it always has. But you know, I hope that I start receiving some equipment and stuff for, you know, free on the channel so we can review stuff. Cause man, you know, I can't be buying stuff like you know, for every video. I'm so thankful that Kent sent me this wonderful coffee to review, and I didn't have to buy all this awesome stuff. So at least every video has had new coffee, something new to try, right? So yeah. Okay, this is what we have so far. Again, thank you to my buddy Kent. Appreciate it, bud. Okay, let's tamp. There we go. Okay, I think that's beautiful, nice and flat. Good tamp. There you see it. You know, the little flowers that are up here, I think these have been the longest lasting ones I've ever had. I mean, wow, these things have lasted like so. I've had them for, I think, well over a month. It's incredible. At first, it was, at first there were some roses there, and the roses bloomed beautifully. They opened up really nice, but they quickly kind of, you know, died. I had to pull them out, but I didn't want to throw out the little white flowers because they were, they were still perfectly okay. And the roses have been gone now for like, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe, yeah, maybe 2 weeks. And these have been up for another couple of weeks. They've been up there at least a month. So you must have seen these little flowers already on a bunch of videos. As a matter of fact, I recorded a video outside where it was standing behind the little plant that I have out in the balcony, and you could see them over the plant, and it looked really nice. And but yeah, I think the very next video we'll have some new setup. Some new setup. Let me refocus. Let me bring you in closer. Let me see. Okay, right here. Refocus, lock the focus. And I think, you know what, the phone here might be on the way when I start pressing the lever down. So let me move it a little bit off to the side like this. And relock the focus right there. Yeah, for me, I think that might work a little bit better. Okay, I turned on my espresso function. Now I'm gonna bring the handle down because I do like starting from this position. And I know not everybody does. I did get some comments as to starting with the handle up, but to me, it just didn't work as well. Okay. So now I can go ahead and add water. And the water is not dropping on the coffee. It's just sitting up here. And I can let it equalize if I wanted to for a couple of minutes. And if I'm pulling a shot and not recording it, that's what I would probably do. Allow it to kind of equalize in there. I explained that already before. It sounds to me like kind of logical. And according to Justin from Daddy's Got Coffee, you know, he tested it, and it seems to work better. So to let it equalize for a couple of minutes. But for the sake of the video, we're gonna push forward. Oh, you know what? I do have to get the water. Yeah, the water's a little bit cooler. Okay, hold on. Since I'm editing this, I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes. Okay, we're gonna continue, but I wanted to show you from the top first. You could see where the water is bubbling up there, but it never like boils over that it starts to make a mess. It just kind of slowly boils like this. So you could leave it up here for a couple of minutes, let it equalize or do its thing. Again, I might not always do that. It just depends. You know, it depends. I think it's good practice if I have time for it and whatnot to go ahead and let it equalize a little bit. I think from this angle I can work and you guys can see, and we should be able to move forward. Now the water's completely hot. As soon as I lift the handle though, the water will drop onto the puck and it starts to saturate everything with no pressure, but it's already, I guess you can start the shot then. So I'm gonna use this scale to time as soon as I start lifting the handle, because that will be our total shot time. And then this is an automatic espresso mode. So as soon as it senses the coffee, it'll start timing for us. So let me get the kettle ready. I've gotten a little bit better with this part of the process. Okay, I'm gonna start the time. Okay, I'm gonna start pulling up. Now the water's on the coffee. I'm gonna top it off. Okay, it's full. I'm at 19 seconds and I'm pressing. Okay, I'm at 2 bars. It's usually where I start. Keep it here at 2 bars for, okay, I'm at 30 seconds, so I'm gonna ramp up. Okay, we got first drip. I'm at 7.5, so right in the middle of the espresso zone, which is where I always go to. Like right in the middle. I keep it at 7.5, maybe 8 bars. And it's really easy to keep it steady there. I thought it would be harder. Puck is degrading because the pressure's a lot less now. You can feel it. I'm pressing a lot less hard. And still keeping it there in the middle. Looking for 45 grams out. Okay, I went a little over because I'm always having to watch what's going on with the pressure and what's going on with the scale. So, you know, sometimes I end up going a little bit over. But it's got beautiful crema, 38 seconds from first drip and about 1 minute and 20 seconds overall. But again, it was like 22 seconds into it before I even went to 2 bars. And then I kept it at 2 bars until like we were already over 30 seconds. So this is like, you know, what I usually do, the proper Slayer shot that I do with the Flair is something like this. And I know it's dripping. I'm gonna remove it and see how, that's the thing. As soon as I move this, it's gonna get on the scale. And I rather that it gets on than gets my scale all dirty. So let's do this. All right, so that worked today. Okay, turn off the Akaya. Okay, no stress, no mess today. Just get everything out, put this in, all right. I'm still getting used to the workflow. Okay, I should have the focus locked. Everything should be ready to go there. Let's purge this thing before I might forget. And then if you pull the filter out without purging the rest of the water, you could have a little mess on your hands. So you have to purge like this. And once again, mention what Anton told me, that once you do this and you check the puck, you know, what are you really doing? You can't see how your extraction went by doing that because you already purged extra water through and everything's different now. So that makes total sense. I can't believe the very first time when I did that, I didn't realize, right? I just, and you guys caught it. So I'm always learning from you guys. Thank you to Anton for pointing that out. I won't make that mistake again. The puck ends up being extremely dry once you do this. If you don't do this, it'll be a soupy mess and you're gonna, you know, water's probably gonna spill on your counter. Okay, so here's our shot. Cheers. Yeah, fantastic once again. I have to say that the day I pulled the shot on the Bianca, it was better than today. At least first impressions. I'll taste it again in a second. But from what I remember, it was better from the Bianca. It was sweeter and more balanced. This one has more upfront acidity, brighter. This here has more upfront acidity, more brightness, and the Bianca was better balanced and sweeter. That's all I can say. But still delicious. I'm gonna definitely enjoy this. Yeah. You know, maybe today it benefits from turning it into an Americano. Let's try that. Okay, so wow, today you guys have seen a lot of stuff going on here. Experiments, we did filter coffee, we did espresso, now I'm doing an Americano. Okay, I'm gonna heat up the cup first because I want it nice and hot again. It's just been a lot going on today. Let that sit there for a second and we'll do an Americano. Okay, the cup should be nice and hot. Let's put the coffee over to this one. Okay, now we're gonna start adding some water. I'm gonna add just a little at first. Try it right there and see if I have to go all the way up. Usually it ends up being all the way up. Yeah, usually this is still not enough water, but we'll see. I'd rather get it spot on than too much water. I can't do anything about that once it's in there. All right, cheers. Better, but yeah, we're gonna have to add a little bit more. Again, you're just trying to balance the cup to where it has a lot of brightness, a lot of acidity. At least for me, some people maybe think that that's even better than the one from the Bianca. It just, you know, to each their own. You know, it's your coffee, make it your way, but everybody's gonna have a little bit different thing that they like. Okay, let's try. Usually this is about how we do it, an Americano. Okay, that's spot on. Perfect. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit, clean up a little bit, and then get one last clip for you guys to say goodbye. Give me a second. All right, so the Americano has had a chance to cool for a little bit, and I do wanna say goodbye to you guys, but today, instead of my usual outro song, today we're gonna let Richie take us home on this one. Come on, take it away, Richie. All right, so a little bit of Richie there. You know, I just tasted it. You guys saw because I have the camera on here, although the microphone was over there by the speaker. But I just tasted it, and as soon as I tasted it, now as an Americano had a chance to cool, I know what this coffee's tasty notes were. It's funny, man. It just now is spot on the way I remember it. So this is the one with kiwi. Let's take a look, because I don't know, but let's take a look. Let me find the bag. Where did I put it? Oh, it's back here. All right, I'll be so surprised, but I'm gonna make a fool of myself if this is not it. But let's take a look. This is the one with the tropical fruit, kiwi. Let me see. Okay, look. Can you guys see that? Let me bring it closer. Hold on. It's really small, written down really small. It's funny that Rwanda, they went really big. Everything else is really small. And some of the words are not in English, but you can see, I knew it, kiwi, tropical fruit. I bet you, well, I don't know, but that's gotta be tropical fruit. Come on. Wow, as soon as I tasted, I'm like, wait a minute, this is the one. And one of the Gardelli coffees from the Italian roaster, it was, to me, I thought it's maybe even the same coffee because it tastes just the same. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with this video, and I really wanted to hang out with you guys today. I think this worked out beautifully. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. After this, I'm gonna head out to the gym. I gotta clean up a little bit and then go to the gym and finish when I get back. But this is wonderful. Oh man, that's a superstar coffee. I have to say, this is a superstar coffee. Man, to rival the Kenyans, right? Right up there. It's right up there with the Kenyans. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of that. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you guys. My little coffee club family here on YouTube, I appreciate you guys being here with me, man. Thank you for coming back and for your interaction below in the comments. I really appreciate that. That's what keeps me making these. The fact that you guys are enjoying it and you let me know by at least dropping in and saying hello or leaving me an emoji. All of that counts. I know you saw the video and you enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Please remember to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.